There they are. Those are very dangerous. And we'll switch on over to homing rifle ammo and just place them in the reticle, right? Oh my god. Wow, it's like a point defense ammunition. Today, I would like to complete Phase 3 along with you. Now, there are some pretty complicated machines that we've got to create in order to feed our space elevator all of the necessary goodies, but I've actually set up a couple of operations I'd like to take a look at with you in order to accomplish that end. As you can see, we've got a wonderful, beautiful vehicle right in front of us, so I figured we'd just kind of take it and head on over to our new operations. So I present to you the factory cart. That's right. So we're going to get inside of the... I've actually just unlocked the factory cart. I know. It costs 10 tickets, but it's well worth it. It's a little bit cramped, but you can see it doesn't require any fuel. And it's so zippy. My gosh, look at that. Amazing. So we're just going to go, oh, please turn right over to the right side. I've kind of retooled things now that we've unlocked industrial manufacturing. So you'll see stuff moving in the background here. Right now, the idea is that we're going to send in the automated wiring, the circuit boards, heavy modular frame, and the computers in order to create the adaptive control units. We've got 4 Summers loops applied to a single manufacturer, and we're going to output 5 ACUs per minute. So all we got to do is insert stuff into the storage bin here, and it's going to flow through and enter in the appropriate places on the manufacturer. Now, this is more for fun. I've never really used a programmable splitter before, and down below you'll notice that we have one right here where we can actually designate multiple instructions per output, which I thought was really, really handy when being fed from one specific location. And then I've got everything else looping back on overflow all the way back to this truck station, which is then feeding through one single belt so that the input is slower than the output, just because it is currently Mark 3 and the output's Mark 4. So with that having been said, all that we have flowing on the belts right now are computers, heavy modular frames, and then I believe also circuit boards. If we take a look inside, yeah, we got circuit boards right here. And now it's just a matter of actually adding the last bit of it. So I actually have some materials here that I've kind of pre-stocked. We'll go ahead and grab all of these. So we just need to add the last bits to it. So we'll go ahead and stick in the automated wiring because that's the last magical bit necessary. And we should see it. There we go. They're flowing through and the manufacturer has begun. And then we'll just slowly pop in all the rest. So now that's just going to continue to fly around, not efficiently, but it works. And it's going to output ACUs. And then we should see in the upper right-hand corner when this will not fly out, but slowly coming around. And there they are. So those are going to flow into the space elevator. That's great. And then we've got on our manufacturer the modular engine. So we're just missing the motors. So right now we're combining our reinforced iron plates and rotors and sending smart plating into this manufacturer. We got a bunch of rubber prepped, and it's just a matter of adding the motors. So we'll go in and toss in all these motors, and these should fly in, and that should start, and those will create the modular engines. So we'll just let that run in the background while we're doing other things, and then eventually we'll complete Phase 3. So that's the master plan right now. And there we go. So the modular engine should be exiting the machine soon, and there she is. God, she is beautiful. Look at that. Holy crap. That is so awesome. And we've even made 3 out of 100 of the ACUs, so that's great. So let's go ahead and tuck on up, and we shall reclaim our amazing vehicle. I do want to give a big shout out and a thank you to the bunnies for actually noticing on the last video when I was going over our power facility that I was missing some of the fuel generators on the power grid. In fact, I was missing 4. So now you'll see that we have 14,500 megawatts. So that's really awesome. What is that? You can kind of hear music from here. I'm guessing it's our info booth workers. What are they doing in there? I mean, they're always a happy bunch, but it seems like they've kind of taken to... Have you guys been having a party? Yes. Why? Because we're awesome. Oh, okay. Well, carry on. Thank you. Have a good day. Okay, cool. Well, apparently they've taken to partying because they don't have anything better to do. You know what? There's nothing better to do than party. It's all right. It's all right. We'll come back to that one. So I thought today we can actually take a look at a couple of new additions to our overall production grid. This time, maybe we'll leave the cart behind. We'll let phase 3 complete itself, and we're going to head on out to a brand new motor setup. So we're heading on over to the motor stop. So let's go ahead and get out our zip line capabilities. It's not that far away, and ride the wave. So we're going to head out to our brand new motor stop. You can actually see it from here. Oops, hello. The idea behind this factory is, I've never automated the creation of motors before, but also I kind of wanted to get an idea of what it's like to utilize only iron nodes, because there's plenty of iron nodes everywhere. And I figured it would be really, really nice to be able to utilize something that doesn't impose on the rest of the resource usage elsewhere in the world. So we've got a couple of normal iron nodes right here, and it's being piped into this factory to create 8 and a little bit more per minute of motors. Now, there's a few notable features that I really, really like about this factory. Right now, one of them is the fact that you can fit a truck to drive right through it. Isn't that cool? I built a truck, which is massive, it's huge, and it has so many slots inside, but it can actually drive right through the middle of the factory, which I thought was really neat. That was not on purpose, it just sort of happened, but yeah, I think that's really, really cool. And then B is the fact that everything is going up and down and up and down. So previously, I've always had basements, so you can see there's a lot of work being done underneath and then being sent up to constructors and things like that. But now we're also using kind of ceiling logistic floors, so to speak. So a lot of the work is being done up here and then being sent down below. So we head on over to this side, we can go inside, and you'll see that this is where we're receiving all of that iron ore. Now, normal stuff, we're smelting all of it and then turning it into iron ingots. Those iron ingots are all merging in from down below. They're coming right into the middle and then shooting up stairs all the way up to the upper, would you call it a basement up there? I guess it's still a basement for the top floor. It's being sent up above to the logistics floor up above. How about that? Yeah. And then if we follow that, so we go to the top floor right here, all of those are then entering the constructors. The constructors are creating more of the wire, a lot of wire. And then we also have 4 constructors which are currently creating all of the pipes. Yeah. And then all of those pipes and all of the wire is then being filtered and headed downstairs where we just came from. And then it's being passed over to the assembler room. So in the assembler room, we've got this very majestic flow of materials, which I thought was really cool too. It's being fed from above and coming across with all the pipes. So all the pipes are entering and flowing across the assemblers like so. You can kind of see it in the distance. And then all the wire is coming from above. And then they're being turned into all of the rotors and all of the stators. And then all of the output is then being collected and piped upstairs again. And this time to head to the last 2 assemblers in order to assemble them into motors. So we've got some stators here and we've got some rotors there. And then we basically have our output of motors, which are then being sunk off in excess. And then here's our main bin right here. One other thing to note is that I've actually finally unlocked the very last upload speed upgrade for the dimensional depots. So that actually allows us to upload at 240 per minute, which is just mind-bogglingly fast, right? So I'm very, very happy with that change. It now feels like I never run out of anything that we've automated. So even more of an incentive to actually automate everything. Oh, and we've also unlocked with tier 5, we've also unlocked the ability to utilize the coated concrete floors. So I think it looks even more impressive, like a wet concrete sort of look. So that's the motor stop. Overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's not a lot of motors, but it's enough. It's enough. You can see we have enough for a full industrial storage bin. And I like the signage, I like the flow, and I think we've got some really, really cool, I guess, building infrastructure in place. Which, by the way, I saw on YouTube, another content creator, they utilized beams in order to wire everything up. So I kind of wanted to check that out, because previously I was using the beam below, now we're using the beam above. And I think it's turned out very, very neatly. And it's a lot easier for me to look at something like this and figure out maybe something's not connected or something's gone wrong. So I really, really like that addition as well. So we're just consistently trying to figure out new ways of building things, and this is kind of the result and where I am at the moment. There's another thing very, very close by that I figured we'd take a look at. So if we head just next door, you'll see that we've got access to our Western Steel facility. This is where we're making all the encased industrial beams and all of the steel beams and some additional versatile framework. So it's still chugging along doing its thing. I've actually bent up and raised some of these stackable conveyor setups right here, a little bit lower here. It goes up, it comes across and goes back down. That's precisely because when I wanted to test out deliveries with a truck, it would not fit. So in order to allow the truck to fit, I've had to raise some of these lanes, these buses, and then, you know, feed them back in just so the truck can move along the road. Now, if we head up this way, you'll see some power lines right in between the motor stop and the Western Steel factory out here. And if we follow those power lines, it's going to take us to the only, as far as I'm aware, the only normal sulfur node out here. And I've actually been able to create a bit of a, like a pickup point, because at some point I'm going to want to work with turbo fuel and stuff like that. And as far as I'm aware, I need compacted coal, and that's something that requires sulfur and coal to bring that all together. So I've basically got a miner Mark II. It's shoving out as much sulfur as it can. Right now it's all backed up, yeah. And this also allows us to, you know, manually build some things by putting sulfur into the dimensional depot as well. And then we've got a full truck station, a full industrial storage bin, and a second full industrial storage bin. So a lot of sulfur just waiting to go. And we even have a matching truck for it. And then that's going to allow us to send this out somewhere and basically take the full load, which is actually kind of cool because we can actually just grab all this, load her up, and you can see how much this thing carries. It's insane. Look at that. You got to scroll over. It's basically pulling a full industrial storage bin. That's nuts, because look at this. If we actually go out here, this is just going to empty right out, except for the, well, I guess not, except for the fact that we've got the miner filling it back up again. But really, really cool. This is not, every time we come on by, this is not going to run empty, right? It's going to pick up everything and just wheel out this huge pack of sulfur. So very, very happy with this. I'm excited to utilize it. In the meantime, we've also kind of started setting things up for our train stations as well, because I've been able to unlock this. That's right, the rifle. Now, in order to unlock the rifle, I had to do that in the sulfur research tree in the MAM. That required smokeless powder. In order to get smokeless powder, I needed to take the black powder that we were using for our nobelisks up above in the north and actually pass that over to a refinery in order to get the smokeless powder. The problem is, with a refinery, you got to pass in some type of crude oil product like heavy oil residue, and I wasn't anywhere near that where we're making our black powder. So what I've done is I've created an offshoot of our refinery situation out here, where we're just outputting a little more crude oil from the source of all of our power, and then piping it over to a refinery, where we're then using the heavy oil residue recipe in order to use to create the smokeless powder. So heavy oil residue, we just need the black powder, right? So right now everything's stalled out just because we don't have any black powder, but that's why I've started to set up our very first train station out here. I've kind of set things up so that we can actually pass that black powder through. So if a train were to arrive, then essentially it would work a little bit like this. So if we go over, grab some of the powder like that, and then just send in, I guess, like a little bit of it, and that's going to fly through, and it's coming out from both of the lanes, and then it's going to pass itself through the buffer out here, and then she's going to feed into the refineries. So there's the merge, and then they pick up, and that allows us to make things like this. That's right, I've never had the ability to just automate cluster nobelisks, and I'm very excited about this. The bunny showed this to me in early access, and it is an amazing, amazing foliage clearer. So if we actually get on up here and maybe toss it out, I don't know, like over that way. Whoops. Oh, well, there's the berries. Oh, well, it goes like this. It's like a Merv. So it has a whole bunch of a little bit of an AoE clear on top of the AoE clear with the Nobelisks, and I think that is amazing. With all of these new tools, we've got our rifle, we've got the fancy homing rifle ammunition, we've also got the cluster Nobelisks right here. I think we're ready to explore, and all while Phase 3 in the space elevator is being completed in the background. Now, the reason why I want to explore is because I want to go ahead and create a heavy modular frame factory, and fortunately, we've actually unlocked quite a few recipes to make that happen with as few different types of deposits as possible. Right now, I've unlocked heavy encased frame, coupled with some other alternate recipes means we only need iron and limestone. So I'd like to find the next site of our new factory. So let's go ahead and start by scanning out for iron, and then we'll see where the closest is out here, because I'd still like to be as close to our current factory setups as possible so that we've got shorter logistics to worry about. So right now, about 1,000 in the southeast. There's some over to the north. Oh wow, I had no idea there's that much iron in the north. Holy crap. I'm assuming that might be the place to build it because it's definitely within the rocky desert. And then on top of that, we need a little bit of limestone, yeah? So that's over to the north right there. So let's go in and look for limestone. I would be very surprised if there wasn't limestone out there as well. So we've got limestone out this way. Well, that does not bode well. More down to the south. Okay, so I'm not seeing the limestone up here. I know for sure that there is limestone up where our Western Steel facility is up here, but that's a little bit far. Let's go ahead and take a look at the iron once again. So we'll ping out once for the iron, and then we'll be able to scout and clear a new base site, right? Which I think is going to be awesome. We can get that heavy encased frame going. I'm really excited about that. Oh, look at that. Super close together with the iron. So maybe this is the place right here. They've got pure, pure, and pure. And then the limestone. Oh my god. I think this is that big waterfall. There's even a Caterium node right here. Maybe this is too fancy, but you know what? Let's do it. Let's head out there. Fortunately, it's not that far away, so let's go. We're very well equipped now. I feel so much safer. It's excellent, although maybe we'll use the standard ammo. Although no, wait a minute. How does this homing ammunition work, right? I haven't even fired the rifle yet, so what do we got here? We've got a refire rate, which is amazing. And we're able to kind of move around and just sort of paint the target a bit. Well, he's down. And he's down great. Now, I saw one of the really big hatchers back there. Very difficult to hit those firefly spawns or whatever they are. So I'm thinking maybe with the homing rifle ammunition, it'll allow us to attack it while being safe without... Let's say we're not going to crouch, right? That it will attack us back. Let's go ahead and try that. Oh my god, that's a big one. So I'm going to shoot it. Although, let's start with the standard rifle ammo. And we'll shoot the big guy. That cleared. Oh wow, he didn't even get to launch any of those fireflies, yeah? Well, let's hit the big, giant boss guy. The big spitter. Standard ammo is still good if he's not going to move around, and it's just a DPS race at that point, so phenomenal. Well, tell you what, let's go ahead and check the other hatcher. Maybe we'll let the other one spawn its fireflies. So we'll send some shots, we'll let it go. There they are. Those are very dangerous, and we'll switch on over to homing rifle ammo and just place them in the reticle, right? Oh my god! Wow, it's like a point defense ammunition. The crazy thing is it required high-speed connectors to make them, so they are not cheap, but if you automate them, wow, what a game changer. That is intense. Well, tell you what, if we're going to clear out all of the poison, nothing better than giving a little bit of fireworks, right? So there's one cluster Nobelisk. We got another one out there. We'll even toss this one far and hope we can get in the general vicinity, but even if we miss, do that. I think we got him. High five. That's epic. Drop it. Send it. There we go. That's one. Drop it and send it. God, they're so cool. It's like 4th of July every single day. Love it. Oh, hello. Does this work on the enemies as well? So we toss this like that. and send it. Wow! Okay, I guess it's because it's like getting hit by multiple Nobelisks, so even the large spitter was unable to, I guess, protect himself from that amount of output. So awesome. And we've got the huge hatchers out there. So already really liking this. I think one cool thing would be is to set up a push-pull system with our train to come out here, deliver the black powder, send it back to the Nobelisk factory, and then deliver the smokeless powder, and then pick up the black powder and go back and forth and keep swapping like that. That might work out pretty nicely because we already have the infrastructure set up so that we can at least create more and more and more Nobelisks. So maybe we can turn that into a cluster Nobelisk facility instead of standard Nobelisk only. Okay, so where were we headed? We wanted to head down, I think it was right here. Okay, so let's head in that direction, and then we'll just ping out for the iron. We should be in, I think this is the right way. There we go, 300 meters. So it's probably just on this plane right here, this plateau. And then the limestone should be close by as well. So I really dig that. So ping out again. 107. What the? Oh, we're under attack. Well, deal with that guy. That's one spitter. That's another spitter. I thought there was more out there, but I don't know where it's at. No hostiles? Oh, great. Wow, that was super efficient. That was easy. There we go. We got one. And these are pure. Look at that. Pure iron. So from here, where's the closest limestone? Shouldn't be that far. There we go. 172. So let's find that. So we got one up one lane, and then we got one just over here. So if we were to clear out this forest, then we've got a pretty decent opportunity to build. Yeah, there's a limestone. And then I just saw some random Mercer Sphere out here, although we definitely want to clear its protectors. And that was super easy. Great. God. Man, it's only going to get better from here. I even saw there's like turbo fuel ammunition. So let's go ahead and grab the Mercer Sphere. Excellent. And is this a topper or is that just a feature? Can I clear this out? Yeah, that looks like that's going to be there, so we can't really build right on top of that. And we are close to this one. So they're really, really, really close together. Yeah. And then I think it was only the one limestone. We don't need to utilize all of it, but... Oh, never mind. There's pure and pure. Oh my god. Wow. So if we did 2 pure limestone and 2 pure iron ore, that seems great, right? I think I calculated I'm going to need off of 1 and 1. It was going to be like 480 per minute of iron ore. And then I think like 200 and 240-ish of limestone. So if we double that up, we're going to double the output. That's pretty cool. So let's just try and see how quickly we can clear this area out. Oh my god. Oh my god. That just opened everything up. And merv it up. And it sends out 5 more. Yeah, I don't know of a faster way to clear the forest yet. I'm sure that will appear, but wow, that's impressive. I almost feel like for combat, the Nobelisks weren't really that great. Cluster Nobelisk could be helpful, but it's not really what it's there for. I think it's there for deforestation, so that you can actually build your factories in a clear area, and this is a very rapid way of clearing out the forest. And then I think when it comes to engaging in combat, different types of rifle ammunition and stuff like that is probably going to be the king, but who knows? I don't even know what's up there in the higher tiers or something like that. Maybe there's something even better. So now that we've done this, let's go ahead and look again, right? Because the limestone was out. Ooh, is that a geyser? Is there a geyser here? I see like a pool over here. Let's see if you can... Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Is it oil? Is it... Oh, no, it's just a shadow, yeah? Who's attacking me? Actually, where's that coming from? Are they spiders? What's happening? Ooh, hello, there's a spitter. All right, fair enough. Well, let's switch on over to our rifle. We're ready to go. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Gosh, see, the foliage makes it difficult to fight when you can't see. But that's what the cluster nobelisks are for, right? So it was hard to see anything. And the moment we tossed down something like this, Now we can see a lot better. I just want to have a clear path between limestone and the iron, right? So we'll ping out again. I know there's one right here. And there's one seemingly in the distance here. So we'll just go ahead and place it right on top and clear out a little bit of space. I have a feeling this place seems really rich because I do remember that there was Deuterium as well by the waterfall. So very, very cool. We've got, I think, pure as well. Yep, limestone pure over there. And then for the iron, it's in this direction. Oh, there's one here. Is this a secret one? So how does that work? Do I just put a miner down on the spot? Unless it's under the ground? What? What in the world? Hold up. What is this? It's pure. Okay, so there's actually a node here, and I did not realize that there was. There isn't a visual indicator, so very, very impressive. I'll replace that, and then I think there's one up here as well. Yeah, there we go. This is also pure. So we got 2 iron miners, 2 limestone miners. Looking really, really nice. We just have to adjust everything and point it in the general direction where we're going to build. So that's really, really cool. You can see in the upper right-hand corner that Phase 3 has progressed, but we've kind of petered out. Curious why. Alright, it looks like we were just missing a few circuit boards, so I slammed in a stack, and now we should be good to go. I don't think we have too many more, so if I'm kind of looking here, maybe just to be sure, if we go over to heavy modular frames and we just get out another stack, we'll just toss that in there, and then anything else is extra, right? So that's definitely going to finish up pretty soon. Here, it looked like we ran out of motors for a moment. Now we are not out of motors, so that's finishing that. Looks like maybe we are out of rubber as well. Toss in all of the rubber. That's great. Maybe keep that checked. And then motor-wise, I believe I just tossed this in here, and we already have another 200. That's beautiful, because in 1 minute, we're going to upload a total of 240 over to the dimensional depot. And right now, you can already see it just flying up. So, I mean, we're going to have more than enough, right? And the smart plating never stops, so this should be generally all right. So great. I did notice out here that we have the right tools for the job to clear out all this poison. I've never gone in here before, and there seem to be a lot of spiders. So, I mean, go figure. Look at that. That almost looks like a spider, just because we basically live here for the most part, and it would be really great if we don't have to worry about a bunch of spiders here or the inability to move through the cave network. One thing I wish that I had was some way of building something. Maybe we can make a blueprint for it in order to stop the spawns, right? Because then there would no longer be spiders in here, even if I have no plans on using this cave and I just want to like pass through or something like that. As I understand it, if you've got a powered production building, there's a certain radius around that building where the spiders are not going to spawn. So it might be something to have a blueprint where you've got like a, I don't know, some type of burner or hook it up to power or something like that. And then you throw down a constructor or smelter or something. Whatever's the cheapest. I'm not too sure what that would be. So overall, look at that. It's looking a lot better. No spiders in it. And we have just completed our ACU creation. So that is great. So we are now at our site that we scouted. It is a lot clearer. You can see down below, we've got our miners, we've got our limestone miners, but I may have underestimated this area. Now, what I'm talking about, I went ahead and I went over, held V, scanned for iron, copper, limestone, quartz, etc. And when I went ahead and I did that, I found something that just absolutely boggles my mind. If I go to the map, I've actually marked some of them. So you can see we've got 3 pure iron nodes right here. We've got a pure copper node right here. We've got 2 pure limestone nodes right here. We've got a pure Deuterium node right here. Sulfur, a pure sulfur node right here. Heck, I didn't even mark that iron ore. There's more than this. We've got a whole cluster of coal right here. We've got a pure SAM node right here. I think there's another one up here. So this is one of the densest varieties of pure nodes I've ever seen. Granted, I've not really been all over the place, but this is insane, right? That's so much right here. So I almost feel like maybe this is a bit of a waste, but I mean, we could probably tap a couple of these, like 1 limestone and 1 of the iron ore, make heavy encased frames, be able to output some HMFs and then be good. And then note that heck, this is a great spot for compacted coal, right? That's kind of nuts. You can take all of the coal, you can take all the sulfur you can handle. Heck, you can even put this together and do the black powder thing. You can probably do so much. You've got copper, you've got caterium, you can make... I guess the only thing that we're lacking is like quartz. I think the closest quartz was out here somewhere at like 1,100 meters away. But obviously there are other places where we've tapped quartz. We've got a whole bunch up by the Lake Steel right here where we're outputting not even all the quartz that we can pull from the underground caverns down below. So very, very, very impressive setup right here. It's kind of blowing my mind. And I'm not too sure what to do about that. Actually, I had a second thought about it, and I thought the area that we scouted is such a potent location. I felt bad about setting up heavy modular frames there, especially if we only need it for the iron ore and the limestone. So I've actually scouted a new location. So if we were way down here, this is a lot closer to home, and it's on the west coast up here in the Rocky Desert. So if we look around and we scan out for limestone, you'll see it's really close, 76 meters, 152 meters. There's 4 different limestone nodes very close by like this. So I think this at normal and that at normal is perfectly acceptable. It's essentially a pure node. And then if we scan for iron, don't really need to look far at all. I'm standing right next to one. There's going to be a lot right here. So you can see we've got plenty of iron. So we can just take 2 of these. That's basically 1 node down below. And then we've got 2 limestone right here. I think this is going to be our new heavy modular frame location right here. So what I'm going to do is just make sure that we mark that up so I don't forget. And then we'll just make it something really bright so that it's not something that I will miss when I'm looking at it. And we'll go medium and apply. There we go. So it's going to be our HMF work in progress location right there. So let's head back to base. And we are going to wrap up phase 3. We could probably even retool the other manufacturer to assist, but it's going to happen. And I'm really excited about that. So it's just really a throughput issue. So I went over to the other manufacturer making ACUs formerly and actually retooled it. So it's also summer slooping out modular engines. So now we've got 2 manufacturers going and we are so much closer to our goal. We've got 4 more modular engines to deliver. And that is it. We've completed phase 3. Nice thing is these are going to output 2. That's going to output 2. And when each of them are done, that's it. So I have a feeling it's just going to be... Oh, there we go. Apparently we did it in the time I was talking. Didn't even notice. So high five. I hope we've got another PowerPoint. We're all loaded and ready to go. Seal it. Oh my God. Unlocks tier 7 and 8. So I have not been past this point.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation. Congratulations, the Phase 3 project part shipment is finally ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 3 will be completed and the main body will be constructed.
Oh, we get to see what it looks like.
You should know how this works by now. You'll get access to tiers 7 and 8 in the hub. In fact, perhaps you should just go look at the technologies there yourself. It's all laid out so that even a monkey could understand it, so you should have no issues.
Yeah, all right.
Speaking of which, I don't think you need a reminder about project parts.
Even a monkey could do it.
Instead, I will be providing some interesting facts. Did you know the average pioneer succeeds at saving the day? Did you know the average pioneer knows how to optimize pipe throughput? Did you know the average pioneer
don't use them at all.
stays late at work because they care about humanity? Anyway, I thought you might want to know more about your peers. Good luck in Phase 4.
The average pioneer stays late at work in order to save humanity. Well, there you go. Well, let's go ahead and send it. All right, she's prepping. She's got the payload. Pull the zipper like a slingshot and let go. And then the cloud should clear. There it is.
Phase 3 of Project Assembly completed. Fixit's predictions indicate pioneers should generally reach this point faster with above average results, but we should all adjust our expectations according to the situation. It is understandable. The pressure and complexity will only increase from here, so be sure to take on Phase 4 with efficiency and competence.
Well, I'm glad. Look at that central area. So I have never been past this point. Like, I unlocked this on the very last stream in early access, and we had one train going, and it was pretty awesome. But, man, that is so epic. That is crazy. So the more important thing is that we've unlocked new milestones, tier 7 and 8. The first thing I'd like to unlock would be the hover packs. So let's go ahead and do that as the last, well, I guess the last thing that we do today. And we'll stop on in, select milestone tier 7, bauxite refinement. We had a bauxite node up top near the oil islands already tapped and ready to go. We've got our hover pack, excellent. Logistics Mark 5, that's going to be really awesome too. 780 resources per minute. The hazmat suit is going to allow us to explore even more effectively. All the radiation is hopefully going to be eaten up by that suit. We've got control system development. Are these drones? Oh, blenders. Excellent. Assembly director system. That's one of the things we've got to deliver, I believe. Yeah. And then we've got aeronautical engineering, drones, nuclear power, advanced aluminium production, resource well pressurizer. We saw all those, like, I think it was water in the ground that look like deposits. We can use the resource well extractor, I think, stuff like that. Leading edge production, turbo motors, miner Mark 3, phenomenal. And then last but not least, particle enrichment for nuclear pasta. I have no idea what that is, but that's epic. So let's go ahead and start out with the hover pack, because that's going to be, oh, so amazing. We'll drop in some computers, drop in some heavy modular frames, drop in some motors. Actually, we can just get all the rest like so. And there it is. Big red button. Let's go.
Milestone reached. The hover pack draws energy from nearby power connections, and so can only be used in their vicinity. It provides an excellent vantage point of your work, which you clearly need. Otherwise, you would have optimized that obvious problem by now.
That's true. We have to, like, pulse manually every time we want to get an overhead view while building and doing other things. So you have to interweave and then pulse again and then interweave. Oh, and we hit the ground every once in a while. This will eliminate that problem. So building should become way better. So already have enough to build the hover pack. That's awesome. There she is. So if we go ahead and put this on our back, drag that on, it's going to take power on the grid as long as we have it. You can see that white line as we connect to the closest power source. And right now we are using a little bit more, but it allows us to elevate and hold. So we can just build from here. Isn't that awesome? So as long as we're near sources of power, look at that, we just connected to a new power source. This little white light that's coming out is showing all the places that we've been able to connect to. There's a new transfer of power. I've just been syncing some stuff out there to do some house cleaning. Oh, this is amazing. So building is now going to look like this. Hands-free. That's so good. That's so good. I'm so excited about that. Well, bunnies, we did quite a lot. We finally wrapped up phase 3, unlocked tiers 7 and 8, and also unlocked the hover pack. It's going to make building so much easier. We've visited our motor stop where we're automating motors. We've located the next heavy modular frame site for us to build. And we've located an even more potent, untapped, resource-rich location down southeast of the oil islands. I don't even know what we're going to build there. Maybe computers, something with advanced electronics. Who knows? Even got a pure sulfur deposit there, which I'm very excited about. And on top of that, if you're interested, I have a brand new creation in the Fancy Factory Village that my wife has helped me with. She actually came on over and we did multiplayer for the first time, so that was excellent. And I'm very excited to share it with you. And that'll have to be on the next episode, so stay tuned. If you enjoyed the episode, please feel free to like, share, or comment down below. It helps us a great deal. I had a total blast. I hope you did as well. And I can't wait to get into the next one with you. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.